We're streaming. Justin, as always, we'll start out on camera 4, then go to camera 2. Let's hit that record button, right? I don't like hitting the record button because sometimes I mess it up.
Brianna, are you back there? Yeah. Are you working on it? I mean, you have Kenny's job covered? Okay. He was very busy today.
Bree, do you see the stream?
It's where he smokes his weed.
Woohoo! Here we go. Camera 4 to camera 2. Just 3, 2, whenever you're ready.
All right. Let me start my clock out. Hold on. So you ready?
We are, sir.
Okay. Welcome to You Have Real Estate with me, attorney Justin Clark. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, seasoned investor, renter, or even looking to sell your house, this next 30 minutes is designed just for you. Think of it like hitting multiple open houses, all from your living room, but with my attorney advice throughout the way. If you have any questions during the show, all you have to do is call 407-205-0400. I have people standing by right now to answer your questions. Or if you want to start that house hunt, you're looking to upsize, downsize, you're going to need to get a mortgage before anyone shows you any listings that you see out there on the internet. Dallas Lehman from You Have Mortgage is also standing by to get you pre-qualified right now at that very same phone number, 407-205-0400. Extra special show for you today. But before we get started, I wanted to check back in with you on my solar situation at my house. As you know, I hired a company, IQ Power Solar, to install solar on my house. My electricity bill, $500 every single month. Just like clockwork, $500 to this power company that couldn't care less about me. Now, I'm paying them $40 a month because I finally went solar. I love it. Solar hot water heater. My pool is warm this time of year. I love everything about solar, but the most important thing for me is I got a tax credit at the end of the year, and my electricity bill is virtually nothing. Stephen Bader is the COO of IQ Power Solar, and he's going to tell us how we did it right now. Steve, take it away.
3, 2.
Thank you very much, Steve. If you have questions for Steve, 407-205-0400. And without further ado, it's time for the opening statement. Today's show is going to be a little bit different. Normally, we take tours of houses. I wanted to change it up a little bit because you have been coming to me and saying, Justin, look, the market is so good now mortgage-wise. The rates are so low. I want to get a bigger house. Or, Justin, my college-age kids now are out of the house. I'm looking to downsize. I can't think of a better time really in history to upsize or downsize because of these interest rates. Who would have ever thought that we'd be sitting here now in 2020 with interest rates at 3.6%, maybe 3.7%. It's unheard of. It's amazing. But if you want to upsize or downsize, there are 3 main things that you need to prepare for before you do that. Number 1, we got to check your credit. What if we have credit issues? We need to fix the credit to where we can qualify for the mortgage. Number 2, we need to get a mortgage. We need to talk to a mortgage banker who we trust, who we know is going to try to get the best rate and the best deal we can possibly get. And number 3, got to hire a mover. There are so many moving companies out there who don't really care about your stuff. They only care about your money. The choice of a mover is a very important choice that sometimes you don't think about. So it's a great show. I'm going to tell you how to fix your credit. I'm going to tell you how to get a mortgage. I'm going to tell you how to hire a mover. Stick around. You're not going to want to miss a second. And now it is time for real questions. Every week here on You Have Real Estate, we ask real questions to the truly trend-setting people in Central Florida's real estate community. Today on the show, I have Mark Anderson, Trade Guardian. He's going to talk to us about fixing your credit to where you can buy that next dream house. I also have a very special guest. He's the owner of Big Man Movers, Wesley Ridgewell. It's going to be a great show. Mark, how are you, buddy?
Fantastic.
Thanks for coming in.
Justin?
So credit. Number 1, there are a lot of really bad credit repair companies out there. Admit it, right?
Yes.
There are some bad ones out there. When I really am looking to fix my credit, to get my credit to a point where I can qualify for a mortgage, what should I be looking for in a company to help me with that process?
Sure. So you're going to want to find one that is, licensed, bonded, insured. You're going to check reviews, online reviews, check the BBB, Google, things like that. And then also, what do they offer? Free credit assessments, things like that. Are they board certified? So you want to make sure that they have some qualifications, for sure.
Is credit important? I mean, there's some guys out there, some girls out there like, you know what, I don't care. I'm going to pay cash for everything. Screw this credit thing. I mean, is credit important?
Paramount. In American society, you need credit pretty much for anything. So if you're going to be buying a house, getting a mortgage, credit is going to be one of the first things that everyone's going to be looking at.
Now, we can't go to our Wells Fargo app to check our bank account. We can't go to our American Express app to check our credit card statement without these scores just popping out at us, right?
Sure.
Oh, your score is 680, your score is 650. They're all different,
right?
And they're everywhere. But are these scores that we see on all of these apps, are these really accurate representations of our credit score?
Typically, they're like third-party vendors where they're 1 to 2 weeks behind, such as like a Credit Karma or something like that. So what you want to find is someone that is like a direct route right into the credit bureaus that is going to have your active live score, your 3-bureau credit score.
I used to always hear about this whole deal where, you can get a free credit report once a year, send a letter in, whatever. Where can I really check my credit to really figure out what my score actually is if I'm looking to get a mortgage? Like, what is the mortgage person going to see? Where's a really good place I can actually check my accurate score?
Sure. One of the best places I would direct people is going to be smartcredit.com/TradeGuardian. One of the best features of that is you'll have all 3 credit bureau reports, and then you will also get a free credit assessment by us.
If you have questions about your credit, you want Mark to check your credit, you want Mark to really help work on your credit, I want you to give him a call, 407-205-0400. Trade Guardian, that's your company.
Absolutely.
What do you guys do?
We do credit risk management, so we help consumers when they're trying to get a car loan, a home loan, or just get a better score to achieve what their dreams are with credit. Absolutely.
So I come to you, and I'm at a 580, 590, something like that. Quite frankly, I think that some 580 and 590s actually can qualify for some FHA lenders now. But let's say I'm looking to get to the 640, 650, 680 range. I know it varies, but give me sort of an idea of time frame. How long is it going to take me to get to something closer to mid 600s?
Sure. So after we look at your credit, see what is on there, we're going to look for inaccuracies. We can dispute, remove those. You're looking at a 60, 90-day period. And after that, we're going to look at what's building your credit, what is making you be more stable so you can get those loans. So averagely, 90 days for someone that's in the market for a mortgage, I can get you ready.
So tell me again about this website. So I go to your, what is the website
it's
again?
smartcredit.com/TradeGuardian because we're a partnered sponsor with them.
Yeah.
If not, you can go to mytradeguardian.com. You can get all the information there too.
Hey, boys, I think we should probably put that on the screen too with the slash there just so we know. And so I go there, and what does it cost to check my credit?
It's going to be just $1. It's like verifying your identity through changing your address on the post office.
Oh, okay. And then is this a more accurate score than, again, Wells Fargo telling me, like, I don't know where they get these numbers from. I really don't. What about Credit Karma? Everyone's like, well, Justin, you don't know what you're talking about because Credit Karma said I have a 700. And then I send them over to Dallas Lehman at You Have Mortgage to qualify. And Dallas is like, they don't have a 700. They have like a 580.
Sure.
Because this Credit Karma, is it accurate?
It is. It's delayed, and it's only using 2 bureaus, so it doesn't have Experian involved in that. So you're looking at a week to 2 weeks behind. It's a good platform for someone.
Go to that website, Credit Karma, and you can buy a car, you can buy a house. I mean,
on clicks or sign up
on Credit Karma. But I have also noticed now there's like some buttons you can click.
I do not recommend hitting the generic dispute button. It is going to be not a specific the reasons, the inaccuracies, and that is how our industry is. You can take advantage of everything there.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Stick around. I'm coming back to you in a minute, okay? Because I do want you to get your credit to a point where you can qualify for a mortgage. Dallas Lehman, You Have Mortgage, was going to be here today. He got sick with the flu like, well, everybody else that I know. But the thing is, he is sitting by the phone right now where he can get you pre-qualified right now. All you have to do is call that phone number, 407-205-0400. I sit here every Saturday and talk to you, and I say, look, there's never been a better time to buy. I assure you, a year from now, 2 years from now, when the rates go up and the market changes, I'm not going to sit here and say this is the best time to buy. I'm not sitting here for any sort of self-gratification telling you that now is a great time to buy. I'm telling you now is a fantastic time to buy or even refinance because look at those interest rates. And I also think that the market, while it's gone up significantly, we're still at 2006 prices. if not a little bit less, now 14 years later. I think the prices are really where they should be, maybe even a little bit undervalued when you look at real estate, but it's those interest rates that are fantastic. And at the end of the day, when we buy a house, we're buying a monthly payment. I mean, we know how much money we make every month, and the real concern that we should have is how much is that mortgage payment. And with rates down in the threes, mid threes, now is at the best time that I've ever really seen to buy. So Dallas is standing by again, 407-205-0400. Then I'll buy a house. Woohoo! It's a celebration. Wesley Ridgewell's here, Big Man Movers. I'm so excited I bought the house, but now I've got to move all my stuff from here to here. Now, there are a lot of moving companies out there, and a lot of these companies, I don't even know if they've created an LLC, man. I think it's just some guy who has a truck who's like, oh, sure, I'll move it. I mean, Wesley, welcome to the show, first of all.
Hello, Justin. How are you?
What should I be looking for when I hire a moving company?
When you're looking for a moving company, of course, reputation is everything. Time in the business is everything. But really what you want to look for is a company that's going to come out and actually see you in person. If you're doing something over the phone and you're just kind of given a list for a company to kind of just guess off of, I would strongly recommend to only deal with companies that come see you in person and give you a binding estimate.
And, one of the things that we do at my law firm, which from day one, I've always said, look, 95% of the cases that I handle will take on a flat fee, because I feel bad for people who hire lawyers at times on this hourly rate. Next thing they know, they have a $10,000 dispute and they paid their lawyer $30,000 because it's this hourly fee. So almost every case we handle is on a flat fee. I think that's somewhat analogous when it comes to moving. I know a lot of these companies will say, we can't tell you how much it's going to cost. We don't know how many hours it's going to take. How do you guys charge?
We actually do it a little differently. Just as I was saying before, we go to the client's house, we give a free quote, and that's a flat fee quote. If we say it's $1,000, that's all you pay is $1,000. You don't pay $1,001. We're A+ on the Better Business Bureau for the last 10 years because of that, and that's where we come out and separate ourselves from the competition.
And we know Holly Salmons, too, with the Better Business Bureau, by the way. If you have
We
any
do as well.
issues, Phil behind the scenes there knows her also. So,
Outstanding.
but I don't think you're going to need our help. But
No, sir.
if you do, you got my number, right?
Outstanding. Yes, sir.
All right. So what am I'm looking for a mover. What are some questions that I need to ask these moving companies before selecting one?
Okay, I mean, the 5 questions that I would make sure to cover, and very quickly, would be to cover anything with insurance. The federal minimum is at 60 cents a pound. If you're getting 60 cents a pound back for damage, I don't think you'd ever use that moving company again. We only do full coverage insurance, so please make sure you look at that. The second thing is what we were talking about before, is have the cover all the insurance aspects of what's going to be covered in the detail of the inventory list. So the inventory list is the second thing that you really got to make sure that the company that you're getting the quote from, and also the client, they both look at that in detail so they know exactly what's being moved. The third thing that we always want to cover is everything that we're going to be doing with the furniture in transit. Is it going to a warehouse? Is it going to be held up somewhere in between? And that's really leading on to the last 2 things, are who's going to be moving the furniture. We use the same crew that loads the truck as the same crew that unloads. That's one of the biggest things that we also try to separate ourselves from, and also not mixing and matching loads. If they're going to have another mover involved or another location involved, make sure that there's not 2 different moves going on the same truck at the same time.
We did a lot of foreclosure work back in the day, representing people going through foreclosure, and a lot of those clients would end up being mad at the bank. You know what I mean? Back in the foreclosure crisis, and they would say, I'm taking everything. Is any crazy things you've seen people take during the move? People would say, I'm taking the handle off the dishwasher. Like some crazy stuff that they would want to take with them. Have you seen any of your customers take anything crazy?
I have literally seen everything taken before. From 2009, 2010, at the end of, I would say, the Great Recession there, we would show up to some houses at the beginning, and it would first just be an inventory list, and then we would start loading dishwashers and stuff that would literally have to be unattached, fans. I mean, just every single thing that you could resell. I've literally seen cabinets pulled out before, and when cabinets are pulled out of a house, it's like, what else can you? I mean, we've literally taken it all.
I've seen some crazy stuff.
Me
I
as
mean,
well.
I'm like, look, that's clearly part of the house. I mean, I don't think you moved the carpet, sir. I think the carpet stays with the home.
Absolutely.
Auto transport's another thing that you do, and obviously we live in Florida. We have a lot of snowbirds who come down from Boston and New York, whatever. What's the typical cost of taking my car for back and forth? I don't want to drive. I want to fly, but I want to ship the car because I want to have a car down here during the winter and up there during the summer.
If you're going to be taking a normal car from here to Boston, I guess is a good range from here. We have two different options. We have an open trailer option, and we also have a closed trailer option. On a closed trailer option is going to be more for the antique style car, an exotic, luxury car, something like that. But when we do the transports to, Boston, it's normally somewhere between $800 to $1,200 on average, depending on what type of car, and it's only 20% more for the enclosed trailer option.
So Ryan, behind the scenes, he has a '99 Mustang with 400,000 miles on it. Would you do inside or outside on that one?
I would recommend outside on that,
Yeah.
that particular car. But as you see behind you there, we have moved 3 Ferraris on one of our clients' moves just recently. And, of course, that was an enclosed move. And all of our insurance is actually covered for auto transport up to $5 million. So that's a minimum that you have to do auto transport in the industry, and that's very important.
Wesley Ridgewell is here. Big Man Movers, please. If you're thinking about moving anytime soon, give this guy a shot. 407-205-0400. You have all the insurances necessary. I mean, look, moving is you're moving people's things. Things are going to get dented. They're going to get scratched. You really need to make sure. I mean, it's a very important decision, I think, who to hire to move you. You need to make sure they have the right insurances.
Absolutely.
No doubt about it.
Absolutely.
How do you price a move, though? Like, you come to my house and how do you know how much to charge me?
We actually take it room by room, and we do it by volume. So there's 3 different, pricing structures that you can get from a mover. You can get hourly, which is what a tremendous amount of movers do. That you can also do it by weight, but if you're doing it by weight, you really kind of need to know your stuff if you're doing it by weight. And last but not least is the flat fee, and that's what some movers try to get away from because, we have traffic here in Orlando, we have storms that get delayed on jobs, and then you start paying hourly, and you start paying 2 or 3 or 4 extra hours at, $120, $180 an hour on some companies. That can be very expensive.
Do you guys come in and box everything up, or do I do that prior?
We're actually one of the companies that come in and do a full service. So we do packing one day prior to the move normally.
Thank heavens.
And that normally solves a lot of issues.
What about cross country? I mean, I see a lot of people moving into my neighborhood with the big old truck, coming in there, and you can tell that the truck's from New York or from California or something like that. How do you price it mileage-wise?
This is also where we do a flat fee. We also do not have any extra charges on our long distance moves. Once we give you that flat fee, that's what you pay. The big difference between other movers and us going out of state, we use the same crew on the truck here in Florida that we use when we go out of state as well. So there's no mixing and matching loads. We don't try to put a couple of different customers on the same truck. Then we literally load the truck. The next day it has the load seal, and then that seal's not broken until it's undone in the next state, which is just normally a couple of days later.
One of the hardest things, I think, when you're watching people move your stuff is you actually feel bad. I mean, it's hot out there. I mean, this is very hard work, and you're kind of there directing traffic, so to speak, with the people, with your crew, so to speak.
Sure.
And, you feel a little guilty. You kind of want to help a little bit. But at the end of the day, you want to buy them wise.
We probably get this question more than most because it's not really set in the industry, but we normally try to go 10% of whatever the total cost of the job is, split between how many men are on the job.
Yeah.
So if it's a 10% of the cost, or if it's normally $20 per man is a good start for like a 6 to 8 hour job, and if it's a bigger job, then $50 is a nice tip, and then of course anything over that, especially when you're buying lunches and stuff like you're talking about, that's a big deal. The guys need that energy. I try not to get them a buffet for lunch because we know what happens, with naps after that. But
and I know when you're moving, you've already spent a lot of money on your new house. Your down payment. You've paid a lot of money during this move already. You're paying your moving company a lot of money. But look, don't be cheap. These guys and gals are out there sweating for you, making sure they don't mess up your stuff. Don't be cheap. Buy them lunch. tip them, please, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
it's the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
You don't, people don't bat an eye to tip 20% at the restaurant, yet you've got these people moving all of your belongings, and you're not going to tip. You can't. You must tip. Please do.
Absolutely.
Any questions? Big Man Movers, Wesley Ridgewell, 407-205-0400. Last question. I've had a lot of clients recently who I've noticed were moving overseas. I had one client who was moving to Canada. One guy was moving to Spain. And I said, what, are you just going to get a furnished apartment over there or what? They said, no, we're moving everything. Do you do international moves, and how does that work?
We started international where in the world, like we just got finished up with 3 different moves to different countries. One was to Novorossiysk, Russia, and her name was Mila from Claremont. Very nice lady. We moved her entire house from Claremont all the way to Novorossiysk, Russia. We also didn't do the unloading in the other country, but we did have it all set up with the receiving agent, all forms, everything, and it was very, very smooth. On international shipping, we've also done Valencia, Spain, which was something we just completed, and our longest move was to Thailand. So those 3 different moves in just the last few months have really proven to us that we can cover anything on the international scene, from a 20-foot container to a 45-foot container is our largest container we do, and we do everything from cars, boats, trucks, everything that we can literally put into the container, we also ship to those countries as well.
It must take a forever for the containers to get over there, no?
30 days on average for the Thailand move. Novorossiysk, Russia was about 3 weeks. But one of the most enjoyable moves, which wasn't international, which was a move I personally did to Maui, Hawaii for a client. And we moved his entire house, his small boat, his SUV, and his car. So
I wonder why you did that personally.
it was rewarding.
Can't fool me, pal.
Very rewarding. It was a blast.
Oh, thanks so much for being here. You're going to stick around for the Real Estate Roundtable, I hope.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now, without further ado, it is your part of the program. It's time for the Real Estate Roundtable. Every Saturday here on You Have Real Estate, we answer your questions from throughout the week. All you have to do is follow us on Facebook at You Have Real Estate, and you can message me right there, and we might just answer your question next week here on You Have Real Estate. All right, let's go up to Jason in Volusia County. Justin, love the show. Thanks for all the great info. I'm moving my 2-bedroom apartment. Should I hire movers or get a U-Haul? Wesley Ridgewell, what do you think?
I would say if you go to get a U-Haul, you're looking at 3 different aspects of the business then that you have to cover versus just hiring a mover in one shot. When you hire or when you rent a truck, you're also hiring a mover then to help you probably load it, and then you're hiring a different mover to help you unload it. At that point, you lose all insurance coverage as well. So when you're loading your own truck, definitely there's money saved, but there's a lot of risk to take at that point.
Yeah. Vikram in Winter Garden asked, love watching your show on You Have Real Estate on Facebook and on clickorlando.com. What are some tips on improving my credit? Mark Anderson.
Sure, absolutely. First thing is to pull your credit and look for anything that is a direct inaccuracy, things that are dates are wrong, balances or inquiries, things that you have not noticed that are on there before. Absolutely, just define that first.
Yeah. All right, let's go down to Lake Nona. It's Wes in Lake Nona. He says, can I remove a bankruptcy from my credit?
Well, it's going to be depending on time. Usually they're sitting on there for 7 to 10 years. But what it is what was included into that bankruptcy. A lot of those things can be disputed and items can be done there. A lot of people can come back from a bankruptcy very quickly.
All right, Josh down in Orlando says, how much does it cost to ship my Buick up to Boston?
Well, it looks like we were just covering that. I mean, if the Buick, depending on if it's a custom Buick, we could get the enclosed trailer, but somewhere between $800 to $1,200. But we literally give pricing back on cars within just a few hours, and we claim to have some of the best pricing on any cars to ship anywhere in the country.
James in Lake Mary asks, how far in advance should I book a mover?
During the summertime, we really recommend you're at least 90 days out. June 1st to August 31st, we do 50% of our entire moving for the entire year during that time. So it's a very, very busy time. Outside of those months, I would say at least 30 days in advance would be great. but we also can get a call the night before and get you moved the next day.
Paul and Kissimmee, I'm at a 590 credit score, and my mortgage broker tells me I need to get to 700 to qualify for their program. How long should that take?
Depending on their current situation, what I find a lot of people is they have extended credit. They have too high balances on credit cards, on different loans. So pay down those bills, keep it below 20%, and that is the quickest way you'll start to see a credit increase.
Excellent job, boys.
Outstanding.
Thanks for being here. That was fun.
Thank you.
Flew by or what?
That
Sure.
was quick. That was very quick.
That is Mark Anderson. He is the owner of Trade Guardian. If you want to fix your credit, all you have to do is call this phone number, 407-205-0400. I will immediately hook you up with a free consultation with Mark directly, and he'll tell you exactly what he can do to get your credit to where you can qualify for a mortgage. If you have a move coming up, please don't just trust any riffraff off the street. There are so many people out there who say they're a moving company. They're not licensed. They don't have insurance. They break your stuff. What do? Sue them? You know, they don't have anything to get. You're just going to be out your stuff. You need to hire someone like Wesley Ridgewell with Big Man Movers. And again, I'll hook you up directly with him. All you have to do is call 407-205-0400. Thanks again, boys. Very good to see you.
Yes, sir.
But most importantly, thank you for joining me here today. If you're looking to sell your home or you need to refinance, the same phone number applies, 407-205-0400. I'm attorney Justin Clark. We'll see you back here again next week on You Have Real Estate.